One of the great things about American Smooth is the fact that you can do open movements, which means your arms are free. Now the arm styling should reflect what's happening through the bass, which is why we've taken you through all these fundamentals again, because you're going to be seeing now, we're going to demonstrate how the action of the fundamentals creates the arm styling for you.
Okay, so we've gone through swing, rotation and sway. So these three elements are really important in our waltz, and they're also important for how we're going to style and characterize the waltz. So these are the tools that we're going to talk about. We have circles that we can create with our arms. We have a circle that can go beside our body. Okay, that's going to be with swing. We have a circle that can be like a hula hoop around in front of our body, so we can swing like a hula hoop around our bodies.
So that's parallel with the floor.
Yeah, so that's our rotation circle. And then we have a sway circle, which will go around in front of our face, and we'll explain how we get there. So we have a circle that can go up and around the face.
So that's more sideways.
So it's a sideways circle, so it can go around and out the other side, or it can go up and stop and then come back around to the other side. Okay, so you can see we've drawn these big circles, one for sway, one for rotation around us here, and then one for swing is a forward and back. Now I'll explain how we can use that with our bass technique. So swing we know as the rise and fall action, and it's generally a forward and backward action. Our rotation is what turns us, so we're just going to go forward and backwards. So if we go forward, and you can try this, if you go forward and then rock back, and then forward and then rock back, what happens is our hips tilt us up and forward, and so the arm is following that line, and we can take up all the way to the peak, we can stop a little bit on the way back, or we can take it all the way beside us like we're swimming, like freestyle. So we can take it up either way, all the way around, and then you could take it out with a rotation action. So we have this circle that's beside our body for swing.
Now at this point we should say that this is equally as important for the man as the lady, even though a lot of the time the man has two hands, one hand maybe holding the lady's hand and the other holding the lady's waist, but there are occasions where we're either apart or just holding with one hand when the man needs to know what to do with his free arm.
Right, so arm styling is for everybody. Now, the second circle is our rotation circle. So if we have turn, so our turn can turn us to the right or to the left. So if we turn to the right, and we can turn to the left. Now you can see that we can just fill up this circle around in many different ways. So we can have the arms just staying out to the side. We can curl them in so they can curl in and be lower, especially in a tango action, but since we're talking about waltz today, we can have our arms up, we can take it over our head, so we can turn it over our head. Anything that fills up the circle that's going around parallel to the floor.
So it can be anywhere,
any range,
down the body,
any range from low
above the head
to high, and that covers a rotation. So if you're doing lots of turns, you can finish the rotation all the way up with both of your arms, or you can take it all the way down with both of your arms.
And it's just as appropriate for the man to have his arms over his head as it is for the lady.
Yeah, it just depends on the step. So now, last circle is the sway. Okay, so when we're swaying, our hips are tilting from side to side. Now, when we're doing the sway circle, okay, let's just take one circle at a time. So we'll just take our right arm and do the circle with the right arm. You can see as the hip lifts, it lifts the arm, and as it lowers, it brings it back down. We can take it all the way up and over, and then catch it on the other side to bring it all the way up and over again on the other side. Right, so again, this can be done in different sizes. It could be done smaller to bigger, okay, bigger to smaller actions, but it's still on the same circle axis. We can combine all of these together too, and that's when you start getting really creative shapes. But what we're trying to emphasize here is there's bass technique that's going on. You want to try and reflect that bass technique and amplify it into a bigger shape, because we're not restricted to closed frame. We can open up and show a magnified version of what's going on in the bass.